Hi, welcome to this Blender video tutorial entitled Blender Lighting SunLamp. Blender's SunLamp object is a directional source of parallel rayed light. To demonstrate Blender's SunLamp, I have placed in my scene a modeled sculpture and a base placed on a flat plane. The sculpture has a gold material attached to it, the base a mottled blue material, and the plane a cherrywood texture. In the World Editor, I have added a blue blended sky gradient. I've split my 3D editor into two windows, placing the UV image editor on the right, and I've set the render output to display the rendered image in this UV image editor. I'll render the scene. As the scene has no lighting objects, the sky is displayed, leaving the sculpture, base, and plane in silhouette. I'll place my 3D cursor in the top view and add a SunLamp object. In the front view, I will move it to about the height of the camera. I'll then rotate it in the front view so that the SunLamp is focused on the sculpture object. I'll switch to the side view and rotate the SunLamp here as well. The SunLamp is now fully focused on the sculpture object. I'll render the scene. The SunLamp provides a highly directional light source of constant intensity. Unlike the point lamp, the SunLamp has no fall-off effect. Thus, its distance from any object in the scene is irrelevant, unless you're using the special sky and atmosphere options. The SunLamp's icon in the 3D viewport editor is a black dot with a circle around it, with dashed sun rays around it. Since the sun's position relative to the scene objects is irrelevant, I can move the SunLamp anywhere in the scene, and as long as the rotation angle is not changed, the lighting effect will be the same. Here I'll move the SunLamp below the table plane object and off to the side. I'll then re-render the scene. Note that the position of the SunLamp has no effect on the rendering of the scene. On the other hand, the direction or angle of the SunLamp has a significant effect on the rendering. I'll go to top view and rotate the SunLamp so that it is pointing in the negative X direction. I'll go to front view and do the same. The SunLamp is now pointing directly perpendicular to the sculpture, pointing in the negative X direction, which is the general direction of the camera as well. I'll render the scene. Note that the objects are lit directly from the front in relation to the camera. This also indicates the parallel ray nature of the SunLamp. Note that the tabletop is not lit, nor are the top and perpendicular sides of the base. Also note that the light goes through the base object and illuminates the back side of the base. In front view, I will rotate the SunLamp so that it is pointing straight down along the negative Z direction. I'll then render the scene. Now the objects are illuminated directly from the top. Because of this directional nature, the SunLamp, as its name implies, is a good source for outdoor lighting. Its color and direction can be adjusted to simulate morning, noon, or sunset lighting. In front view, I'll rotate the SunLamp around the Y-axis 45 degrees. I'll click on the Object Data icon in the Properties Editor, which displays all of the SunLamp controls. Most of these controls are common to all Blender lamp objects, and I've demonstrated a number of them in the Point Lamp video tutorial. In the Preview panel, we can see a general preview of the SunLamp output that shows a constant field of white light. Like the point lamp, the SunLamp can be changed to any of Blender's lamp types by clicking on the lamp buttons. Its color can be changed by adjusting the color swatch, and its energy or intensity can be adjusted by increasing or decreasing the energy control. Like the point lamp, the SunLamp also has the negative, this layer, specular, and diffuse checkboxes. By default, the SunLamp has its shadow control turned off. I'll press the Ray Shadow button and render the scene. Notice that the shadow of the sculpture is now displayed on the table plane object. Note also that the icon in the 3D viewport editor now has a dotted circle around the closed circle. You can tell at a glance if a sun lamp in your scene is set to produce shadows by this dotted circle. Note also that the shadows are ray-traced shadows. In order to render these shadows, the Ray Shadow button in the lamp's Shadows panel must be activated, and the ray tracing checkbox in the Render Shading editor must also be checkmarked, which it normally is by default. When the Ray Shadow button is activated, additional controls are displayed in the lamp's Object Data editor. These controls are the same as those demonstrated for the point lamp. Here I will set the Adaptive QMC Shadow Sampling Softness size to 0.6 and the samples to 3. And I'll render the scene. The shadow cast by the sculpture is now much softer. Also like the point lamp, Blender's Sun Lamp can also have an applied texture. With the lamp selected, I will click on the texture icon in the Properties panel. I'll add a new texture and select Image or Movie as the texture type. I'll click on the Open button and select the Rocks JPEG image located on my desktop. In the Mapping panel, I'll set the X, Y, and Z size to 0.5, in effect zooming out on the rock pattern. I'll then render the scene. Note that the rock image is projected on the objects. Both my sculpture and the table plane have a slight mirror effect to their materials. I'll select the sculpture object, go to the Materials editor, and turn on the mirror effect. I'll do the same with the table plane object. And then I'll render the scene. The sun lamp also has a set of sky and atmosphere controls that I'll demonstrate in the next video tutorial.